从贸易战、新冠疫情到净零碳排与 ESG 的浪潮，驱动各国以科技竞争为主战场角力。全球的局势变化相当的快速，让数据驱动影响力成为了大商机。欧洲商业资讯与信用风险解决方案品牌 CRIF 集团看好亚洲地区的高成长性，如何透过 AI 以及 BI 商业资讯，提供企业客户解决方案，因应各种的挑战。请看今天的关键对话。
关键时刻掌握关键对话。大家好，我是曹在玲。全球局势变化快速，企业面对的挑战也更加复杂。现在 AI 人工智慧技术兴起，如何协助企业进行数据收集和风险评估，加速企业发展？这次我们荣幸邀请到 CRIF Asia Managing Director Simone Lovati 先生来到现场和我们分享。Hello, Mr. Lovati. Welcome to our show.
Hi, Janine. Hi, everyone.
First of all, why is data important for businesses?
Data are very important for the business because the trust of people and the trust for companies is nowadays based on data. So if you think about the economy, there is no more an economy without trust, and there is not an economy without data. So to be honest, the economy, when the economy was born thousands of years ago, was strictly connected with trust. So any kind of exchange of goods and services between people was based on trust. But the trust was based on shaking hands and with the reputation of the person, because basically the economy was based on an inner cycle of people that know each other very well. Nowadays we can do business with any kind of company and people around the world. And this kind of things is beautiful, but on the other hand, you need a way to trust people. And knowing data about this kind of people and company is the way that we have to trust them. So it's super, super connected. Economy with trust and trust with data.
So which enterprise risk management data is irreplaceable, and what is the future of business information in the Asia-Pacific region?
The most important data that companies, banks, and institutions has is for sure the track record of a person of a company. This is really the basic one. So if a person or a company did well in the past or not. So it's very much backward looking, the approach, because if you did something bad in the past, for sure, I have to consider this. So this is paramount for sure. But I take the opportunity to say that nowadays not enough. And if I have to connect for the future of BI in Asia and in Taiwan, I have to say that the backward looking is not enough for the fact that this world is changing super fast. So it's not enough to look you and see if you are a very good person or not in the past, or if your company did well or not in the past. I need to monitor you going forward. So I need to understand what you are doing day by day. The future of BI, I think that we have to rethink the approach. If in the past was just giving as CRIF Taiwan a report and data about a company about the past, now we have to provide services and systems to analyze the portfolio, looking forward, and we have to monitor any kind of changes that the company and the people have along the road. So this is the nature of our business, and the entire industry of BI is going from a framework based on basically try to trust company, look into their history and to their performances, to hedge the risk of credit, to hedge the risk of exposure with some people, day by day in a more dynamic way.
Can businesses be able to obtain ESG risk alerts and optimize management strategies through artificial intelligence?
Yes, they can. And artificial intelligence can for sure enhance the way that we trust people, and because it can obviously forecast much better than in the past but I want to say to you that artificial intelligence has in some way not a good name. It's a wrong name, because it's not so much intelligence. So usually AI is super good to forecast what will happen after. So I think that this is the big advantage that we have. We can use this kind of technology to analyze all the data that we have and understand what is the next step, what will happen. About the correlation of events is super good. And we are going to use it also in CRIF Asia a lot. But to understand why is happening something next is not so intelligent. So we still need analysts to understand why it happened at that and why it can happen in other things. But yeah, to answer to your question, AI is really paramount nowadays to speed up the process, to make the people understand what can happen, looking forward.
So how does CRIF integrate data from various locations to build a massive database and incorporate it into the risk management models of businesses?
Let's say that connecting to the technology, we were speaking about AI, the technology play a really fundamental role about that. So we have a framework about the technology across Asia that is the same. And we have best practice of our operation people, our analysts, that we is a unique framework for Asia. On the other hand, we cannot forget that Asia is a continent where every country is very different by the other. And sometimes the regulation also is different. So our model is based on a framework of technology and a framework of best practice, but then strong investment in local factory. So in every country where we have local analysts. So we have people. So it's not only high tech, it's also high touch. And I think that this is our success factor. The fact that, for example, in Taiwan, we have hundreds of people that work here and they speak Taiwanese and they know the culture and they know the environment very well. It's the same in Indonesia, or the same in the Philippines, or in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Vietnam. We have local factory, and this is the mix between the high tech and high touch is, I think, the answer to your question.
And how will the introduction of CRIF Group to Taiwan, along with its resources and experience, assist large Taiwanese companies in developing sustainable supply chain management?
In the past 20 years here, what we did, we assisted them to manage the credit risk, to trust other company and other people. And most of the time regarding their capability to pay back a credit or their capability to pay you back when you provide the service or a good. This is our core business. With the ESG and with the next ESG regulation, these kind of things will change and is changing. So it's changing also the nature of what we do and how we can support the company. Let me explain briefly what I mean. Why a company is doing business data, business insights, and credit risk start to speak about sustainability and ESG. Because the two risks are pretty much connected. And how they are connected. Let's say that, for example, the climate risk, you can see it very far from the credit risk. In the reality, if you start to assess the climate risk about companies, you discover that the company have to invest a lot of money to hedge this risk. So this is what is happening in Taiwan. Many large enterprises are investing tons of money to hedge the risk of ESG. For example, the climate risk. When they invest, their capex increase. When the capex increase, their obviously finance is affected and impacted by this kind of stuff, and it can change the credit risk. At the same way on the consumer side, so definitely what we are doing is to support large enterprise to understand very well how to hedge the ESG risk. And this means that they have not only to look to themselves, but they have to largely look to their supply chain, because the risk, the majority of the time, is for the big part on the supply chain. So they have to look to their partners, they have to look to their vendors, understand their transition risk. This is something that we are doing, and we did a forum exactly for this reason, to put everyone on the same table and discuss this topic.
Lastly, how does CRIF view the Taiwanese and Asian markets, and what are some of the opportunities that the Taiwanese market should be able to seize?
Okay, so let's say that I think that we are in the right place in the right moment. I think that this is valid for any country in Asia. But for sure, if we speak about Taiwan, the entire world depends to Taiwan for many reasons. You know very well. For microprocessor, Taiwan is really mandatory for everyone, and the advanced technology is here. So it's the right place to be because the world is going ahead with chips and microelectronics for sure. So we spoke a lot, I think, today about technology, and here is the place of technology. On the other hand, Asia is the place where the growth is. And specifically, Southeast Asia is going super fast from our point of view. There are tons of opportunity for Taiwanese companies as well. And we are here to support them to understand how they can trust people in Taiwan, but also outside Taiwan. And specifically in Southeast Asia and in Asia in general.
Thank you so much. CRIF 深耕亚洲市场多年 ，AI 与 BI 商业资讯结合，协助企业强化风险评估，掌握各面向的数据。以上内容提供给您，我是曹在玲，关键对话，我们下次见。